Hey kids, we're super heavy teller time because I like the deck and I want to play it more. Alright, let's just get into the games. Alright, we're going to be starting off strong with a deck that no mortal was meant to see. They've got a grip of Clockwork Knight, Evenly Matched, Interrupted Kaiju Slumber, Kashtira Rise Heart, and Kamungus, the Sticky Kaiju. In their extra, they've got what looks like a questionable but understandable cash extra. But then we look at the main and we see a lot of things that are much more dubious, like Ice Hand, Time Tearing Morganite, Pinpoint Landing, Burning Dragon, there's Alpha, Supply Squad. I think that's everything, yeah it is. So we are going to be going second. They're going to normal summon Rise Heart, banish Kashtira Tailments. That's going to hit Droll, Soul Piercer, Altair. Then they're going to Kaiju Slumber themselves, using themselves Thunder King and us Kamungus. Then they'll activate Clockwork Knight. Set Evenly Matched and Pass. We're going to start off with Bike. Bike is going to grab us Stealthy. We're going to activate Wakaushi, scaling Wakaushi, placing Benkei in the Imperm column. Then we're going to Special Spy and link it off for Scarecrow. A bit of a throw on my end here. I was supposed to search Soul Piercer and equip it to Spy first, but it is what it is. We're going to normal the wagon, search for a Soul Peacemaker after equipping it with Soul Piercer, then make Ass Dragon, assemble our chains. We're going to scale Waka, Reborn Bike, and search for Scales. We're going to go ahead and make Barone. Barone's going to pop the back row. Then we're going to Scarecrow back the Scales. Scales effect is going to bring back the Soul Piercer. Then we're going to Soul Peacemaker the Scarecrow, tributing off the Scarecrow for Wakaushi. We're going to make Saratobi. I punt here again. By the way, we searched Soul Gaia Booster with the Soul Piercer. I was supposed to put this in defense. I forgot that it can attack in defense, which is a very stupid thing for me to do, given that it's a super heavy samurai. But what's more important is that it's Tornado Dragon, so they'll pop Clockwork Knight and burn for 500. We'll go ahead and equip Soul Gaia Booster to Scales, special summon it, then activate Tellar and Stellar to special summon its Altair for no effect, summon Delturos, pop the Kaiju, and our opponent will concede, seeing that we have well over lethal on board. Truthfully, I was kind of fishing for replays where I go second, because I've realized that the biggest issue with super heavy variants is that usually they just kind of fold to enough interruption, and I wanted to get replays of Constellar, Tellar, super heavy playing through interruption, but then I stumbled across Blind Second Mikanko. I think they're on the new support. Are they on the new ritual? No, they're not. It's in their extra. Just a bunch of good targets to send off of, Dogmatica Punishment, I suppose, if they're even on it. Which doesn't look like they are. Do they even have anything that cares about the, They don't. Okay. Well, either way, they're going first, and they're going to pass, because, what? I don't know. I think that they were trying for the Master Duel Gambit, where you just pass as soon as possible and hope that your opponent forgets that it's turn 2. We're going to go ahead and pitch Bike. Bike grabs Waka. Waka Scale. Scale is going to get us Benkei and summon itself. We're going to activate Benkei to add Soul Piercer. Normal Soul Piercer makes Scarecrow. Trigger the Soul Piercer. That's going to get us the Scales. We're going to pitch the Scales to summon the Scales and activate the Scales for the Soul Piercer. That's going to allow us to make Ass Dragon, triggering in sequence all of our effects. That's going to get us to Bike. Scale the Waka and Soul Peacemaker. We're going to Soul Peacemaker the Scarecrow, tribute off the Scarecrow for Wagon, then go ahead and synchro into Barone. Then we're going to turn Wagon to attack and search Soul Gaia Booster, which we will equip and then summon. Now we'll overlay for Caduce and then special summon Altair with no effect. From our hand with Tellar and Stellar, we're going to special Caduce and then banish deneb for we're going to Kalhai using Caduceus. And at this point, I realize that I don't need to go further. We just half game. For our next game, we'll be going up against Despia. Not branded. Despia. If we take a look inside this 14-card extra, you will find common staples like Guardian Chimera or Albion. Instead, you'll find cards like Proskenion and the second Alba Laudatus. I don't know why. And if we take a look inside their main, we'll see cards like Blazing Cartesia the Virtuous. We'll also see Keeper of Dragon Magic without the Predaplant engine. And Dogmatica Fleur-de-Lis and Springen's Kit and Monster Reborn. Just a lot of very strange inclusions. That's for sure. Either way, they're on the play. They're going to start off with Theater of the Branded, then Chain Opening. They're going to pitch out Fong Valbaz for Aluber. Aluber is going to grab them Lost. They're going to activate Lost and then Firebrand Fusion. I'm going to Ash that. Fiji, shake my hand. They're going to attempt to fuse with Theater. We're going to Ghost over that, and they're going to pass because this has to be a monster. We're going to start off with Waka Ushi, then activate Waka Ushi, scaling Benkei, and specialing the Waka. And our opponent, like many of that player, is going to Veiler the Waka immediately. We're going to go ahead and search for Soul Piercer and Scarecrow, and then make Scarecrow, search for Scales, then pitch these Scales to summon back the Soul Piercer. And I did choke here a little bit. I was supposed to search not directly Scales, but go bike into Scales, but because I didn't, I have to make Sarutobi here. We're going to trigger in sequence our triggered effects, and then respond to those with Sarutobi, popping Lost and burning for 500. We're going to pitch Bike for Soul Peacemaker. Soul Peacemaker is going to equip Scarecrow and then tribute it off for a copy of Wagon. Wagon is going to flip to attack mode for Soul Guy Booster, which we will equip and then special summon. Now we're going to go ahead and overlay into Deltaros and pop itself. That's going to allow us to summon Deneb from our deck. Deneb here is going to be grabbing Unakalhai. We're going to go ahead and Pendulum summon Caduceus and Unakalhai, milling an Altairen, and searching for Tellar and Stellar. We're going to reveal Sakitamada, extra normal it, and then make Gaga Gaga Magician. Gaga Gaga Magician is going to summon out Deltaros here, and then we're going to go ahead and make Constellar Tellar Knights to summon back the Altairen and punch the Aluber without, destroy the Aluber without triggering the effect that locks us into attacks. We have lethal, shake my hand. Next up, we'll be going up against Lair of Darkness. It looks like our opponent is just on plain old Lair. They're on weird stuff like Ballista Squad, which I guess makes sense. But yeah, it's Lair. I don't know why Titanicider is there, but it sure is. Anyway, they've opened probably okay. We're going to normal Deneb. Unfortunately, we don't have our super heavy deck, our super heavy part of the deck, so we kind of have to rely on the tellers here. Deneb is going to search for Liren, and we're going to activate Liren to add Skybridge. Then we're going to go ahead and special Caduce, and then Caduce is going to grab us Tellar and Stellar. We'll reveal Sakitama, and then extra normal it, and then activate Skybridge, trading out this Deneb for Unakalhai, which is going to now mill Altairen. We're going to Tellar and Stellar back the Altairen, and then overlay all 5 for Caduce. That's going to add back Skybridge, and then we'll make Tolmate, and then rank it down into Tolmaeus, skipping our opponent's turn. We'll go ahead and pass turn back to ourselves, and we're going to rip off the top Soul Piercer, which is just the best card in the deck. We're going to blink off for Scarecrow, add Bike, pitch Bike, add Waka. We're going to scale the Waka, activate the Waka. That's going to get us to Benkei and special the Waka. We're going to activate Benkei. Benkei is going to grab us Soul Peacemaker. We're going to pitch this Ash for Soul Piercer. Then we're going to go into Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon, triggering in sequence all of our effects to scale Waka, summon Bike, and search for Wagon. We're going to make Barone, then trade out this Scarecrow for a copy of Scale. Scale is going to summon back the Bike and make itself 2 levels higher, so it's level 4. That allows us to make Borlord Savage. That's going to get us to Scarecrow, and here we're going to Pendulum summon 2. Like a moron, I do activate the effect of Altairen here. This is what potentially cost me the game, because this card locks you into only attacking with Xyz. So we're going to make Caduceus, adding back a couple cards to our extra. Then we're going to switch Wagon to attack for Soul Guy Booster. We'll special summon Soul Guy Booster, switch Tolmaeus to attack. We're going to rank up the Tolmaeus into Pleiades, and then activate Pleiades to bounce Constellar Tellar Knights. We're going to go ahead and tag, we're going to banish Deneb for a Liren, and then we'll get in for 500 under lethal, unfortunately. We're going to make Tolmi M7 and then Zeus, and then also make F0. If I didn't activate Altairen, we had well over lethal, but I flubbed it because I forgot where the locks were. They're going to Kaiju the UDF, then Super Polyway the Kaiju, and the Overload for a Starving Venom. That's going to threaten the Barone. They're going to allow us to attach Bike to Zeus, then they're going to tribute off the Radian, the Starving Venom for Arima, which searches them Radiant. They're going to set EEV, and with no way to summon anything to protect them, they will concede after I Zeus away their Darkest Diablos. Now for our last game, we'll be going up against Fluandrees. This is really just more of a showcase of how strong defensive cards this format are into Flu. They're going to duality for Eaglin. We're going to troll. They're going to normal the Eaglin, set 2, and pass. I am going to make some plays here that are pretty sketchy, probably didn't need to, but I was playing around the possibility of one of these cards being Dreaming Town with a bird in the hand. So we're going to Bike. Bike is going to get us to Wakaushi. Wakaushi is going to special summon itself after grabbing Benkei. Benkei is going to grab a Soul Piercer, which will normal summon, and they will book. That's a big problem. We're going to Wakaushi to summon another Soul Piercer, then activate Peacemaker to the equipping the Soul Piercer for Scales. It's going to trigger in sequence. Scales to reborn the Soul Piercer, and Soul Piercer to search for Stealthy. We're going to make Sartobi, and then trigger once again in sequence Wakaushi and Soul Piercer for Wakaushi. We're going to go ahead and pop the remaining back row and not attack here because I realized that really I didn't want that. I wanted this Ash to be able to stop their normal summon, and this was the correct choice. So putting a bird in the banish pile would have lost me the game. They're going to Rabina, we're going to Ash, and that will end their turn, so they'll concede, given that I have more than enough gas to go in for lethal. This deck really rules. I'm still moving around the ratios on the extra deck cards, the sideboard, the main deck extenders, but it's really, really fun. I'm trying to build it in paper because I really want to play it in paper, but until then, I'm just gonna have to be content just playing it online. I really like Saki Talma in this deck. It's not amazing, obviously, but having an extra normal summon of a spirit that having a level 4 extended you can activate even after having to use Wakaushi's effect to special summon from deck is just so nice because while I'm not on it, if I found the room, Masurawo is just a house in this sort of deck. But yeah, Stealthy is also really nice. If you find a way to Stealthy alongside your Wakaushi, not only can you perform the full combo that you normally would, but you can also do it while retaining not just your Pendulum Summon, but your normal summon too, which is just incredibly powerful. Also, being able to steal cards like Dark Ruler No More, Board Breakers like that is just so helpful, and stealing imperms that your opponent fires off during your setup is also very nice. I really appreciate Stealthy being an in-engine free special and being a way to steal spell traps from your opponent's Brave. I might consider bumping it up, but I don't know where I would find the room, honestly. But yeah, that's about all that I've got this time. Yeah, nothing else to really say. See ya.